We are live. It's Waste Not Wednesday. If you're new to our channel, make sure you hit subscribe and notifications so you never miss a live video. When we go live on Wednesdays at 10:30 Mountain Standard Time.
AM. 10:30 AM. Don't miss that.
We take old junk and we fix it up and we make it awesome. We also go live on Saturday nights. We have DIY videos, how-tos, decor, so don't want to miss out. When you come on, let us know where you're from, what you're doing today, and Zeb is going to give you a brief description of what today's video is going to be all about.
Okay, so we have a video, like a full DIY instructional video on how to use the amazing mold putty with the amazing casting resin. We might be mixing it up with some paper clay from IOD, but you can get these products at JamiRayVintage.com, and I'm going to show you in just a second, once we get a few more people pop on here, what we're doing. We've got a piece of plaster missing on this mirror over here from the original decorative design, and we're going to mold this part over here that's good, cast it, and then put the pieces over here, and that way we're good to go. We'll probably use paper clay for that, but I'll also show you how to do it with the resin.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting situation. Zeb thinks that we can fix this. I am skeptical. So we'll see how that rolls. We like to do things like this live so that way you guys can see that the things we do are doable. It's not like camera magic. So Zeb's gonna give you a little close up there.
So you can see this, it's broken all the way down to the wood. The plaster's gone. Actually, I think it looks like, no, it was probably plaster. It's old. And then we've got all this missing here. I'm not gonna cast this part. We'll probably either sand that back smooth, or I will take Bondo, all-purpose Bondo, and build that back up and sand it smooth. But what we want is this piece and this piece that's missing, and we'll put that back here so that it looks like that there when we're done, hopefully. Or it'll at least be close. It won't be such a huge gaping hole.
Cami Thurman says that she's in Monticello, Mississippi, headed to court with her 21-year-old who was popping wheelers on a dirt bike in city limits. I feel your pain. I haven't had a child do that yet, but I would not be shocked if we got the knock from the police on the door about our kid popping wheelies or doing who knows what.
Well, we're almost done with one boy, but we've got two more.
Almost done? This boy's 21 years old. You are never done.
No, he's on his own at 21. You're a good mom.
We have, guys, in case you don't know, we actually have 5 kids. Our oldest is almost 17 and our baby's turning 5. So we feel your parental pain.
All right, so I'm going to get started on this because we're going to be short on time getting this done start to finish with the video. And so it comes in 2 parts. This is the mold putty. You got side A and side B. You put them together in equal parts and then they solidify into a silicone mold in about 10 minutes. So we're going to get that done real quick. You don't necessarily, well, I won't tell you that. We're going to use gloves.
That, while that's drying, we're going to then move over to project number 2, which is an old frame that we're going to be adding some IOD molds and making an art piece out of. And then while that dries, then we'll come back over to this project and we are going to be teetering back and forth. This is the other project. We actually painted the frame on a live video and it's got a weird picture inside of it that we're not keeping. So I'm going to go ahead and just put molds directly on the glass, show you guys how to do that, and then we'll come back over to this project. So it's going to be a fun day. In fact, Zeb and I were just staring at all of our junk before we went live, and we're like, what are we going to do? We were doing the home inspection for the home that we were going to be purchasing. Yeah. That was a lot to take in.
Nothing I didn't expect. Honestly, I didn't get any surprises. Jamie got surprises with like how much all the little stuff adds up to.
For sure, for sure. So we won't go into detail about that. It will be a little bit. We did film it, and we'll let you guys know when that video comes up. It might be a minute or 2 before we get that one up. But anyways, yeah, so it was a little bit interesting. We were up at like 6:30 this morning to go do that. We had an awesome home inspector. Love him. We'll share his information with you. And then we were in the garage, like, Zeb's like, come up with an idea. I'm like, I need to be alone with my junk for just like 5 minutes. Let me stare at it. If I stare at it long enough, the junk will talk to me. The junk wasn't talking this morning.
So what I like to do, you can measure, of course, if you want, but I like to do just pretty similar parts, side A, side B, and then mush them together until it's all yellow. It's basically like playing with Play-Doh, but once you start mixing them, you've only got about 2 or 3 minutes to get it mixed well before it starts solidifying into its silicone state.
Mariana said is her first time commenting as a member. Woohoo!
Fun.
If you guys are new, we have a channel membership. We have the link in every single video. So if you want to know what that's all about, it comes with tons of extras. It's $5 US a month, and we have tons of fun with our channel membership.
Yep, 2 extra videos. You get a printable. What else do we do? Oh, the emojis, the little bird by your name.
So this frame was originally $10 at the thrift store. I bought it before the frame. The artwork has a hole in it, and it's fruit. So it's not really, I mean, not that fruit's bad, but it's not my...
Okay, we're gonna move the camera over here to the good part.
Dale says, thanks for being on while she's waiting for tires at Costco.
Oh, fun.
When I'm at Costco waiting on anything, I'm getting samples.
Okay.
So this the putty that he's using, you get at JamiRayVintage.com.
Yep.
So we sell the putty and we sell the casting resin. We haven't showed how to use it a lot, so it's not like a #1 seller, but it is something that we use on a very regular basis for repairs. And even if you don't have a project, you definitely want to order it and keep this on hand, so when you need it, you've got it handy.
Well, it's going to take this $10 frame and make it so that we can sell it for max amount. And once we paint it, you won't even know that it was cast. So I'm just kind of dragging this putty over while it's still pliable.
And you'll notice he's wearing gloves. This is a chemical reaction. Do not do this bare hands. I mean, it's not like toxic, I guess.
You'd probably be okay. That's what I was going to tell him. You'd be okay. But I always like to best practices on stuff when we're doing videos.
So the only reason this was $10 for as big as this is because it has some major damage. Jane, thank you for that. I appreciate it. We had a super chat come up.
Awesome. Thank you. All right.
Christina says she ordered a lot of stuff last night. Whoop whoop.
Okay.
Oh, just a heads up, if you guys have if you've ordered DIY paint, we have a few colors that randomly we sold out of and then happened to go on back order. That order's coming in this week. So if your order's been a little bit delayed and you had DIY paint, and that's why Caitlin has emailed everybody to give you guys the heads up. But that is coming in. We're going to get those out. I don't want anybody to think I forgot about them. It happens periodically.
Well, we had a bunch of stock, and it's been so long now. We are out of our stock that we had, and now we're on back order from the manufacturer. So,
but we're getting it in.
Okay, so I'm just kind of pressing it while it's still somewhat pliable, making sure that I've got all those details in there and don't miss anything. You want it to be as perfect as you can. You could see here and there where I had like a little thin spot. I just kind of mushed some more over. And if you have a thin spot in your mold, you could always make some more of this up. Just make a little patch, rub a little part A and part B together, and then just patch that up. And no big deal.
So Zeb is actually quite the pro at this because before we sold IOD, Zeb made all of his own molds, and we actually sold hundreds and hundreds of appliques that were poured out of molds that we made ourselves. And so this is a really fun thing. If you want to make your own molds off of antique and vintage furniture and decor, you can have them and then replicate them over and over again with these products.
Okay, I feel pretty good about that. We're going to let that sit. We might need to patch it. This particular one, how it kind of curves over the edge and it's big, like a crown molding almost, might be best used with the paper clay rather than the resin, because it's going to be hard to get the resin to take that shape without wanting to run all over the place.
And you can pour resin. Somebody just asked, you can pour resin in these molds. That's what we did for years when we made our own appliques for furniture. But we're not using the resin today only because, like you said, it's at an angle, so paper clay is better because it's not going to like drip all over the other place. Okay, so
fun fact about the putty real quick before Jamie answers that question. When this is cured, it's food safe and you can cook in it up to 300 degrees. So,
however, depending on what you molded, it might have some of that in there. So we don't know what you're molding. So take that into consideration when you're talking about food safe. You have to wash it real good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move this out of the way and let's work on our next project while that sets up. Do you want to just like set that on there?
I'm just going to set it over side. It'll take about 10 minutes for that to set up and then we'll come back to it.
Okay. So, and this is cool because you don't have to damage. So there are some other ways you can make your own molds. You can actually take the applique off your piece and set it down into something and make your own molds. But this putty is not going to damage your furniture. Usually, I say usually, because you never know, but usually won't damage a finish. So if it's a finished piece, you can make your own
If it's sealed well. If it's not sealed?
Yeah, if it's sealed well, you should be fine. If not, be careful. It's very detailed, you know. But you can put it on a vertical surface. You don't have to take something apart to make a mold out of it. Where when we were originally looking to like make molds with stuff, oh my gosh, I feel like every single one was a disaster because you have to like pull the applique off and push it down into it. Where this can go up on any surface. That's why I like the putty.
You got a paper towel or something?
That has a situation happening there. It's dirty. All right.
I get it.
Like I said, we were in the garage looking for junk.
So our home inspection, we'll talk just a little bit more about that. Mostly what he said was electrical issues and there's some slight foundation issues, nothing that can't be repaired.
Things that need to be like sealed up and shored up. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like falling. I mean, the house has been there for 100 years, but it still was, you know, the nice thing is that the guy that went through this is a contractor. So he had some great insight. Like our realtor hooked us up with the best home inspector ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to decide on a design. Like, what are we going to put in this? It's got like this fun detail around the edge that's kind of fluty.
Yeah.
So,
and that has some damage on it too, which you could mold.
yeah, we're gonna leave the damage. I feel like
It's not super bad on this one.
but I'm trying to decide, like, do we want to go like fancy, or do we want to go like farm
Well, this is
fancy?
pretty fancy here.
So let's mold this twice and do this on the top and the bottom, and I'll figure out what I want to put in the middle of it, okay?
All right, which one?
This one. This is the classic something. I don't remember what it's called. Do you remember which mold? If you look in IOD, just type
Classic decor mold.
I think this is the
believe.
classic decor mold. You're right. You're good. This is the laurel and this is the fleur de lis.
So which
he's
one?
using the classic molds. This one here, don't you think that will look
The
good?
big
Like,
fancy one?
top and bottom.
So we're gonna do this one here and mold that real quick.
Stacy, Zeb says there were no big surprises.
Jamie was surprised. She's like, oh.
So it's all relative.
She was talking about my rose
We're just
colored.
leading up to the anticipation when the inspection video is actually edited and up. You guys are all gonna want to watch it because it's good stuff. And ironically, here's like side note, our home inspector, it was from El Centro. Now almost nobody knows where El Centro, California is, but it's right up next to a little town called Calexico, which is where I'm from in California. Like I lived there from 2nd to 8th grade. And we were in the same like church, like circle growing up, and we knew a lot of the same people, and just totally ironic that he would be from that same little like armpit of California area. So that was kind of fun to reminisce about my childhood.
So this is the IOD paper clay. It is not created equal with other molding paper clays.
It's not even created equal with the old IOD clay. Like if
is
you get
cool.
old IOD clay, it crumbles, it's not as wet. This is like Play-Doh, although you didn't dust that, so it might stick. If your clay sticks to your mold, because that's the thing, the wetter the clay, the more likely it is to stick to your mold. Then you can just dust it with cornstarch. But this clay has been opened a lot, so it's actually a little more dry than this clay we're gonna bust into in a second. Because we've had that clay open for a few months.
It's making me work for it.
Christina Jones says if you don't have red flags after sleeping on it, your new house is a good choice, I believe.
Well, the trouble is this. It's in a location that we love, and we'll never find another spot like that.
Yeah, the spot is
on
amazing.
an old fixer-upper home. Like, we may as well just buy a new and build wherever, like out in the country.
But the location is amazing for us. Yeah, so we're not going to go into too much because this is all public knowledge information, but we'll discuss stuff, and whatever happens, you guys will get the full deets on it all, because I think that there's a lot of people that love the idea of fixing up, and we want to make sure that you guys know like the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between, like all things involved with older homes.
Yep. All right, so I'm gonna go get my little scraper. We're almost done there.
All right, your inspector's supposed to work for you, not your realtor. I can tell you right now that inspector held nothing back. If the realtor wanted him to sugarcoat things, He did not. So he was awesome. In fact, he talked about some stuff. I actually used to be in the mortgage industry for about 11 years. So I've actually seen many home inspections, and he covered things that I've never seen inspectors go over in such great detail. He also is a contractor, so he has a little bit of a edge up on other home inspectors. So it was awesome. Are we gonna go live while we work on it? Yeah. Whatever we do, there'll be live videos, there'll be edited videos. There will be lots of fun stuff. Zeb has a video in our inspection video. He went up in the attic. The crawl space is exactly this big.
Like I have to stick an arm up and then work my way over and stick another arm up just to get up into the crawl space for the attic.
I was like, good luck with that.
Okay,
The paper clay is amazing. I've used it in other molds, but haven't been able to order IOD molds. Yes, yeah, this paper clay is awesome. The sisters really went above and beyond. If you don't know, the sisters are Sally and Josie. They own IOD.
Okay.
How do you find the emojis? Okay, somebody who's on here who's a channel member, would you answer that
little
question,
smiley face
Elizabeth?
down in the bottom.
There's a little smiley face you can click.
Oop, I got a break right there. I got to remush. Okay, so these are, let's see how easy this comes out.
These molds are under IOD in our online store at JamiRayVintage.com. You can also pick them up at Plant Bar AZ in Arizona and at Molly's Forget Me Not in Utah.
All right.
Thanks, Denise. She told them, click on the smiley.
So this particular paper clay is a little older. We've had it open for quite a while. It's probably taken us a month or so to use this up.
It's probably like 2 or 3 months old.
So if you get it fresh out of the package, it works easier than this. So I'm like telling you it's awesome, and then I'm struggling a little. But you saw how, I mean, even with it a little older, how easy that came out.
Thanks, Lynn. You're so cute. She gave us a super chat and said, buy something pretty.
Oh, thank you.
I'll take that super chat to the pedicure place this afternoon.
So there's the mold. Okay, we got one. I got to do another one. Here, why don't we open that new paper clay so I can show them what a new package looks like that hasn't been opened
well, there's
for
nothing
like
wrong with that.
2
Put that
months.
thing right there.
Well, it's got a little glue. I needed to mush it. I need a flat surface to mush it on.
Okay. Well, let me go get a...
Here we go. I'll fix it right here. That's the nice thing about the paper clay. It's fairly forgiving. Look, done, fixed.
What glue are we using? Are we using the... Where's that Gorilla Glue situation?
I think the Gorilla Glue's right here in this drawer. Yep.
Everybody keeps Gorilla Glue in their kitchen island, right?
Yeah, that's normal, right?
Give me a hands up emoji if you keep Gorilla Glue and a razor blade in your kitchen island, because that's all in our
All right,
junk
so
drawer.
I'm gonna bring the camera down so you guys can see where Jamie places this. We're gonna let her glue it on.
Oh, Kendall's found the new emojis. Yeah, the more channel members we get, the more emojis we can add. So Zeb's been having fun with that.
All right. Okay, Jamie.
Is paper clay the same as air dry clay?
No. Air dry clay is different.
This is air dry paper clay, but the air dry clay you get at the craft store is more crumbly. So this is air dry paper clay. So
that one piece there is gonna have to be glued down separately.
what are you doing?
I don't know. Where did you want to put that at?
On the glass.
Oh, on the glass.
We're gonna paint the whole situation.
So that's bigger than your.
Yeah, this can go. Oh, I was gonna put it. What are you doing? Like that.
Oh, like
right
that?
Here, and then something in the middle.
All right, glue it up. You do
I
it.
hate using this glue. You use it. I don't want to get my fingers on it.
I gotta do the other mold.
I'll do the other one.
Okay, I'll glue.
This Gorilla Glue works great, but man,
It's gooey.
I'm not gonna waste the new clay yet. I'm gonna use this old clay, and then we'll use the new clay here in a minute. You need to warm it up in your hands. That was your problem.
So this is construction adhesive. It works on, there's a big list there on tile, glass,
We're gonna need a whole like that.
wood, metal. I mean, it works on tons of stuff.
So you push it down in there.
Yep.
Well,
So I'm just taking little smears of it here and putting them because this stuff's so gooey.
Yeah, you should probably use a popsicle stick.
It's all right.
Eliza has some in her room. My daughter Eliza's a crafter, if anybody needs. So I like to take my finger and push down on the mold like that. And because it has that micro rim, it just pulls that clay right off. I don't know if you did that. If you pull against the rim.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Seriously, if I can use this clay, like anybody can, because I'm not not super good at it. Mara uses it all the time from Vintage Retail Therapy, and she's like, boop, 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 done. But she uses it like every day, all day, every day.
Whoop.
If you guys haven't followed along, the IOD sisters are doing a gallery wall, and they're showing you how to use their products to make a gallery wall using plywood, and that's kind of fun. You can see how to use the stamps and the molds. They've got a lot of fun faux finishing techniques. So definitely, they just put up a new video.
Are we painting this whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I won't worry about this little smear of glue.
No. No. And the nice thing about the only positive I feel like about this Gorilla Glue is it sets up like so fast.
Well, and it's thick enough that you could probably leave this kind of like on a vertical surface and it's not gonna fall.
Yeah, it sets up in a few minutes. Okay, I think I got this. Where's my scraper do? Do you got a scraper do?
I had one out.
Hold on.
I had one. It's like right here. It's clear,
This
so
one.
it's blending.
All right, I got this.
It's clear, so
I'm
it's
going to
blending.
be using this spatula here. It's also the brownie spatula, but that's okay.
Yeah, the paper clay's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah. So you want to go from the middle and kind of pull out like that. So you don't have any like weird spots. Totally official. That's the official way to do it. Okay, and then you just take this and you want to use your mold to demold it. So you're going to push down on the mold and peel back.
Oh, we probably should have. You got wetter stuff. We probably should have cornstarched it.
No, this is not wetter stuff. I used the old stuff. I told you I wasn't wasting any of it. I don't care if it's old and dry.
Get it. Don't
worry. I will get it. This is a very detailed mold too, so
yep.
Cornstarch might have been beneficial, especially since I just mushed it all in there like a crazy person. The resin is nice because you just pour it in and then pop it out. But
yeah, and I'll show you how to use the resin here in just a minute while we're waiting for other things to dry.
You don't want to push down on the mold because then you lose some of the detail. Okay, I got that side out. Oh, 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 oh. Ta-da! I got it, yo. Okay, hold on.
You got some extra. You didn't clean your micro rim up.
Oh, fussy. At least it didn't break like yours. There we go. Okay.
I know. I know.
Put that one over there. I just about missed the whole live. I will have to watch on replay.
We got some time left. All right, so I'm gonna flip this over, get some glue going on it. Boy, Jamie, yours is messy. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Why are you throwing me under the bus? Ain't nobody gonna see it. When it's done, it'll be just fine. All utility items are considered tools. It's a given. Yeah, this it's a brownie spatula. It was like 99 cents at the kitchen store. Now it's gonna be my IOD spatula scraper situation. Careful, it's a little thin in a few areas. But I used the old clay. At least I didn't break it.
No, it'll be good. Once we paint it, you won't ever know.
I like to use the DIY paint when I'm doing stuff like this, because then you just take that clay paint and shove it under all the edges and ain't nobody got snow. It's not perfect. Stacy says, always love to see how life and God leads you to places you need to be. Your stressful years in the mortgage world prepared you for this moment of getting the fixer-upper of your dreams. Hopefully it's the fixer-upper. Hopefully the dreams are good dreams.
So I've been trying to do like my own plans and things, which have been going okay. They've been going well. But we called the city to see what exactly we need to do to get permits for additions and things like that. And it's quite a bit more involved than just, I think, my little plans. I don't know that they'll pass the test. We got to get a structural engineer involved to look at it and an architect to be like, yeah, everything goes here, here. And it's nice to do that, I think, if you can, because you'll have, like, they're going to do it right. And you're going to get your plans accepted at the city pretty easily.
Yeah, and the Gorilla Glue is nice because it does adhere to glass, so it works for this situation. Where's your mold? Where's the classic mold? I want to decide what to put in the middle of that.
I don't know where the mold went. It's probably over there upside down.
It's flipped upside down over here. So let's see, what do we got to put in the middle? I could do a seashell, but we know how I feel about seashells. This thing here, would that fit? Would that? I feel like we need something like...
Right in the center?
Yeah, long and skinny.
Let's put a rooster in the center.
A rooster? What about a rabbit? This rabbit. Let's do that.
The jumping rabbit?
The jumping rabbit.
Okay.
It's jumping. All right, so we're flipping over to the fleur-de-lis mold, and it's got this rabbit here on the bottom, which I feel like is the right proportions, and we're gonna put that rabbit right in there. And then we're gonna let it dry for a hot minute. We're gonna show you the mold that we just made, and we're gonna work on repairing that big frame. What are we making? Elaine, we have an old antique frame that has a picture in it that's not super great that I paid, I don't know. It says 25 cents on the back, but I bought a DI, so I probably paid like $1 for it. And we are actually using IOD paper clay and molds, and we're putting it directly on the glass. So we're using this Gorilla Glue construction adhesive that we picked up at Home Depot that sticks to basically everything. Fencing trim, concrete, plastic, gutters, tub tile, mirrors, flag brackets, wood, landscaping, laminate repairs, brickstone, weather features, floor transitions, vinyl cove base, granite, soap dishes, foam board, towel racks, and access panels. Fast grab, 100% waterproof, paintable. And what is it? I think on the back it says, within 10 minutes it's bonded, and you need to press the surface for 20 to 60 seconds. So it's kind of annoying because it is goopy, but the stuff works.
Yep, it's real thick. All right, so the rabbit's looking good. Let's get this in a bag so we don't have dry out situation on that.
So we're using new mold. Oh, you didn't cornstarch it with the new clay?
No, I'm just going.
Okay.
I'll get it out. I have a plan.
Deb has a plan. He should have cornstarched that. When your clay is fresh, it is wetter, and the wetter the clay is, the harder it is to demold it. So you just dust some cornstarch on there. All
right. Well, the rabbit, he's got like some fur details and stuff, but he's not super.
Susie says she's splatter painting jeans for her booth. I'm actually wearing DIY shorts. They used to be pants, and I was hot one day, and I took scissors and cut them off. Does that count? If you buy like those cut off shorts, they're so expensive, but jeans are cheap this time of year, so it's cheaper to buy some jeans and cut them off. All right.
So look at so I was talking about the detail on his fur. Can you guys see that?
How do you keep paper clay from drying out? It needs to be in an airtight bag the second you're done using it. So I just.
Well, we probably should double baggy that.
Yeah, double bag even better. We use the IKEA bags. You can even take like a wet baby wipe, throw it in there if it starts to get a little dry, kind of like you do with apple slices and brown sugar, and the clay will actually pull the moisture from the baby wipe, and that will help. Or a wet paper towel. Oh, admitted, Zeb, you forgot the cornstarch. That's what Anna says.
But look how easy that came out. I had a plan.
You're a man with a plan.
Or I'm lazy. One of the two.
There's both things happening here. Me too. Oh, Anna, if your emojis aren't working and you've been a member for a long time, double check that you didn't accidentally get signed off. That happens, or you might be under the wrong account. That happens too. Like some people sign up under one account. Let's see. Donna Adams, Squirrel Girl Creations. I just finished a dresser. I surprised myself. It's so pretty. That's awesome. You know what? I've been doing furniture for like a really long time, and even I get surprised. Look how cute that is. Oh, I like it. Okay, so I'm thinking, you know, maybe do we put something here and here?
No, I think that'd be too much. Okay. I think just paint it, and once you get it painted,
I know it looks a little weird now, but once we paint this, it's gonna be great. Oh, welcome Renee Painter. She was a member before. She must have gotten accidentally signed off somehow. That's my sister. All right. So Renee is our newest channel member.
The thing is, if you unsubscribe, your bird changes color again. Oh well.
That's true. All right. I got dust in this. So this is gonna dry, and then we're gonna paint it.
Okay.
What time is it? Oh, well, it's 11.
We got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Well, we have to get the heat then.
I'm gonna move some stuff. We're gonna leave the camera down. So you guys
Christina said she didn't think it would work with a rabbit, but it is cute. You, oh ye of little faith.
Okay, so this has been sitting. I don't know how long has that been. 10 minutes, and it's cured up. It's now rubbery. So I'm just carefully peeling it off. You want to go careful because it's stuck down in to those details, and if you pull fast, sometimes you can rip the small details right out and they'll stay down in the cracks. So now I've got an impression of that side there, and we're going to use that paper clay and go back in and remold this. I think actually, so because I'm not missing the whole thing.
Your mold's a little crooked. While you're doing that, I'm going to work on this.
Okay. Yeah, bring it over so they can see you work on it. I'll hide it in the corner. Okay, so right there's how my mold's gonna go.
Looks like scrambled egg color.
So I think I'm gonna put the paper clay down in here, and then I will press this on over the top and get the detail I need. So I'll put the paper clay where I need it to be, and then we'll mold it like that. We'll do a reverse. So I'm not wasting all this stuff just to get this little cutout piece.
You really want to make sure your edges are good down. So,
All right, so
the bunny.
I'm gonna leave it a little high so that I have room to mush.
Jesus. Your mold is special here, Zeb.
It's okay. You're gonna paint it.
Yeah, but they're like, it's crooked.
No.
All right, well, there we go. I can't fix that situation. We'll just go with it.
All right, so now I'm gonna plop this back on. Let's see, make sure. Okay, we'll see how well this works. Go in reverse like this. It might just mush it around and not do what I want it to do.
I think this whole thing is gonna go white or black, and then I'll use white wax to bring out the detail. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I'm using Little Black Dress by DIY Paint. It's clay based, all natural. It's super thick, which I love because I like to shove it under the edges of my mold, so it looks all one piece. It's all natural, so completely safe. Oh, good. Welcome, Tracy Ramirez.
All right, so I've got extra paper clay here, so I'm gonna use that to my advantage and put it where this plaster was missing and smooth that out.
Now, you should wait till your paper clay is dry. I'm just telling you that.
To paint?
Yeah. But, you know, we don't have time for that. The magic of live TV.
We're live on YouTube. We gotta get this project done in 40 minutes.
Yep.
All right.
I like the technical terms you use, mush.
Yeah, I don't know what other way to say it. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm mushing it. Okay, so I've got a couple little creases and things. I'm just gonna kind of smooth that out so there's not a ridge.
Yes, Seb is using paper clay with a mold that he just made to recreate the detail on this piece that was missing. So we're using the IOD paper clay, but we're using the mold putty that we also sell on our website. Yeah, I'm using a synthetic brush from Pixie, and I'm kind of glopping the paint on only because I don't want to lose the detail. So I kind of glop it on and then I just tap it in. If it was dry, you could just brush it. It gets hard.
So I'm just peeling some excess off the back there.
How did you make that mold, Tiffany? If you replay this video when it's done, you can see Zeb.
We did it at the start of the video.
We did it at the start of the video. We've got the full tutorial on there.
Okay, so now that I got it kind of trimmed down more, so not as much as mushing at the sides, I'm gonna go back over again, and I'm just pressing on it.
They love the color of the frame. Yeah, I know, it's pretty. And when I wet distress it, some of that blue will come back. This is just a base color. You never know. I might come back with like milk paint and come back over that, over this black. Haven't decided. You can paint, see, I'm painting directly on the glass. So you can do that with DIY paint.
Okay, so it looks kind of weird right now, but I'm gonna let that dry. And then once we paint it, you won't really even notice like the difference in the variation.
Stephanie says she's kayaking on the lake, but she had to watch this.
What?
I want to be kayaking on a lake somewhere.
It's great service that you're getting service out there on the lake.
Well, maybe she got off the lake. Or are you still kayaking? That would be funny. See, Stacy says, we finally got our first riding lawnmower. Love it. Hope yours is fixed soon. We had actually just bought our first lawnmower ever. We've always had them given to us, and we finally had to break down and buy one. Only because our son, it feels like when teenagers use stuff, it never quite works the same afterwards.
Well, he didn't pay for it. Why should he take care of it?
Yeah. So we had to buy a new lawnmower this year. All right, I'm getting there. Getting this paint on.
Okay, so now this raised edge here is kind of smooth where it was cracked off here. That's what I've been doing, is just smoothing this over, using it almost like I would the Bondo. And putting the paper clay where it needs to be, so that we have like this detail here is going to come up right here. And I need to press just a little bit more on that part. We lost some detail when I was mushing it around with my fingers.
That is the one thing you gotta be careful. That's why I'm just like kind of pouncing this in here.
And you're going super thick with that paint.
Don't worry. Don't you worry about what I'm doing over here with this paint. Mind your business.
Okay. All right. Now that repair is done, I think we'll paint it just before we go, just so you guys can see. We're gonna paint this whole frame so it all looks uniform and nice and matching.
Oh, okay. Jana says that might be the slowest I've ever seen Jamie paint. True. But it's because the mold is still like soft and pliable and the glue isn't dry.
Okay, so I'm just using the paper clay, replacing this molding here that was missing along the edge that was real bad cracked, and just smoothing it out with my thumb.
Don't worry, I'm a professional.
All right, we're gonna let that dry for a couple of minutes and then we'll put the paint on it.
You want to go get the heat gun?
No, I'm worried it'll crack too much if we use the heat gun. It'll dry out pretty fast exposed to the air here.
I'm still watching this video about 3 times before I get the courage. Yeah, that's good. You know, we do stuff, we mess it up. That's how we know how not to do stuff, because we've done it and messed it up. Sometimes we've done it live and messed it up. Okay. I think I got this all painted here.
All right, I'm happy with that. It looks mostly smoothed out. Once we paint it, you'll hardly notice. And of course, we'll distress it.
Yeah.
Do you think we should paint this brown or gold before, so that if we do distress it with the top color?
Oh yeah, probably.
So there's that mold. You can see it kept most of the detail on there, kind of curled it around. And you could use resin with this, but I don't recommend it. You'd have to like figure out a way to cap all these edges and it just take a bunch. So the paper clay is a great alternative for that. You can see how I just mushed it down on there. And you could even just take it and mush it onto here, or press it, not mush, you could press it on. And then just get the whole piece and put this onto something. So we'll keep this now that we've got the impression.
Legs and beds also, yes. Now, you don't want to be using it for anything structural. Structural things would need to be fixed a different way, but if it's just decor, yes. Because once that paper clay dries and you paint it and seal it, it's pretty hard. I mean, it's a lot like the plaster from back in the day, which is what this mirror would have been made from anyways.
Okay, so we're gonna let that dry for a little bit longer. And I'm gonna show you, should I just show them the rabbit? No, let's do the rooster. I wanna do a rooster in resin.
Wait, why? Oh, you're
I'm gonna show them how to use the resin.
Why don't you move that out of the way then?
I will, I'll scooch it.
I'm just painting the rest of this frame black in case you wonder what I got going on here.
So you can do a mold release agent. They make a little spray that you can spritz in. You spray it in, wait till that's dry, and then you put the resin down in. With these IOD molds, the way the silicone's made on them, I haven't had any issue with mold release problems. The resin just comes right out.
Yeah, no, they're virtually like indestructible. The stamps are too. They're really bendy flexy.
All right, so we also carry the casting resin on JamiRayVintage.com if you need that.
Yeah,
we're the one-stop crafting shop for this kind of stuff.
For paint, for resin, for molding stuff. We carry it because we like to use it too.
Yep.
Like we carry that's people ask me like, what's the deciding factor about what you're going to carry on your website? I'm like, well, if I
How
like
often do you use it yourself?
Tracy says, Jamie, you've got some sass. Yeah, that's a little bit. That's like the understatement of the century. I've got some. I like got a whole lot of. Sass.
I edit 90% of Jamie's sass out.
I told him, I said, start leaving it in. He's got some funny stuff going on the vlog video this weekend. It's not my sass. It's his. What goes on behind the scenes. So you guys don't realize. If you don't know, Zeb edits all the videos. So sometimes he'll leave like stuff in for me, but he will totally edit out some stuff if he doesn't want people to know about him. So I've told him, I'm like, leave your funny stuff in. Because that can be a little strange sometimes.
It's not all black and white.
It takes a little bit of courage on Zeb's part to leave it in the video. So all I'm doing right now is just kind of pushing the paint underneath the edge of this, so we don't have any like lines, so it looks like the mold has always been there.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring you just a little closer so you can see what I'm doing with the resin.
Minecraft, our store is at 1245 West Main Street in Lehi, Utah. You can also go to Plant Bar AZ in Anthem, Arizona. Well, actually New River, Arizona. Or you can go to JamiRayVintage.com.
All right, so when you open up your resin packet, you're gonna have 2 stir sticks, just little wood sticks, and then 3 measuring cups, 2 to measure with. Oh, got some paint from Jamie on this. 2 to measure with, and then 1 to stir in. I prefer to stir in a little bit larger cup with a lip on it, because if you have a rolled lip on your cup, it pours out better.
Thanks, Elaine. Let's see what the top ledge needs. That's where I was actually headed next. The top ledge needs paint.
So this is not a very big mold. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of side A and 1 teaspoon of side B, and this also has millimeter or milliliter measurements and ounce measurements if you need those.
I'm going to do a cross match
Whatever you
pattern.
prefer.
So I'm going to brush all the paint one direction, and then I'm going to brush it another direction.
Nice.
Give it a little texture on there.
Okay, so mixing the resin, it's really important on this, even more than the mold putty, that your side A and side B are identical units of measurement. You don't want to mess that up, because it'll get oily and it won't set up ever. Like you'll go back in a year, and I've had some that I'm like, oh, I thought that would have dried out.
Nope.
And it doesn't. And then you want to stir for about a minute. The larger your pour, the faster this will set up, because it has a chemical reaction. It actually gets pretty hot to the touch.
And you can actually use this to make like knobs and things out of.
Yeah, we've made knob replacements. Like if we had a beautiful dresser and we only had like 1 knob that matched and we needed the rest.
Or Debbie used it with screws and made her own like mermaid pools, because we have a mermaid one.
Yep, you can do that. There's all sorts of uses for this resin. I used clear casting resin in the lighted river pour that's on Harrington's desk on his room. If you want to see that, that's in his bedroom makeover
We carry the
playlist.
clear cast. We probably will do more with that once we have a house and we're like creating stuff.
All right, so you want to stir for 30 to 60 seconds. You don't want there to be any swirlies or anything like that. It'll go back clear. Like you won't be able to really tell that it's yellow. And then when this sets up, it sets up with like a white color.
All right, I'm going to come in with an artist brush and kind of clear out some of the goops. Because I just kind of gooped it in there, but I got to clear it out.
All right, then you just pour it into the mold. And that was perfect for this rooster. So if you have this mold, 1 teaspoon of side A, 1 teaspoon side B, fit perfectly in there. No overpour. I've got like maybe a couple drips left in my cup here.
I think I may have got some paint on my face.
Now this is about 5 to 10 minutes to set up on this, and then it's usable. And let's say you wanted it to curve around like a rounded edge like this can. Right after you demold it, you can put it on. Yeah, you got more.
I need a baby wipe. I'll be back.
I could lick it off.
No! You're so weird.
Back to what I was saying before the paint debacle on the face. So if you wanted it to curve around the edge, you can microwave it for about 15 to 30 seconds, warm that plastic up, that resin up, and curve it around the edge, and then just clamp it or rubber band it on, and you can get it to go around curved surfaces. You can't get it to go crazy like a 45 or a 90 degree. You'll crack it in half, but slight rounded edge curves you can get it to go on.
Serpentine dressers, you know, the wavy fronts, it works
Oh.
fine on that.
Yeah.
Did you tell me they can microwave it if
Yep.
it's already set up? Yeah, and then the paper clay, if you got to do a 90, you're going to want paper clay for that. So I'm just taking this artist brush and cleaning out the edges where I mushed all that paint in. So that way it dries a little faster. But the nice thing about mushing that under there is that clay dries and it looks a little bit more like an authentic mold, not like something I put on a piece of glass, which is exactly what I did. So if you want to grab the heat gun and we'll dry this out so they can see it.
Yep.
Now this paper clay will crack. If when it dries it cracks too much, you can come back through with like DAP or a lightweight spackle and fix it. I usually leave the cracks because I like it, because I want it to look like an old piece of like architecture or mold or a plaster piece that would have been done way back when, which is kind of what I'm creating here.
Oh, I want to show them this.
And this could be done with any frame. You want to show them up close?
Mm-hmm. But let me show them this first. You can see it's already setting up. It's turning white. That's starting to harden up. If I were to touch it, the mold's probably warm around that right there. Oh, you can see it growing right there on camera. It's going so fast. All right, now I'll show them your
it is a chemical reaction, so do be careful. So all I'm doing is I'm just touching this up and because I want to dry it on camera, and I want to make sure I don't have like goopy paint, because you guys saw me kind of goop that on there. I'm just using an artist brush.
Bringing back the details.
Yeah, and I'm going very, very soft. You do not want to push on this. Remember, it's still pliable, so you're going to lose all your detail, and you don't want to do that. And when it dries, it'll kind of settle down anyways, but we don't have time for it to dry 100% naturally. So Zeb, when you're done with that up close shot there, would you?
I'm done.
Would you get the heat gun?
Yep, I'll go grab it. Oh, the kids are really going outside.
Sorry, it's kind of loud outside. We have our 5 children, but then we also have 2 neighbor children, so there's that.
Are there any comments that need answered while you're looking? Did we get a new channel member?
Yes, welcome Jeanette White. How do you avoid the cracks? If you use resin, you won't get any cracks. So if you don't want cracks in your molds, I would use resin. One of the beauties of paper clays is it does get the authentic cracks. So just something to keep in mind. There probably is something more scientific than that to tell you about it, but I would just use resin. So let's see. Scrape and beat method. I don't know. Somebody says, are you ready for football? I don't know.
Oh man, I am so ready for football season. I got my Friday night lights eyes on so bad.
Kenton is supposed to be possibly playing offense and defense. We'll see what happens.
They might play him both ways. He's one of the more aggressive seniors this year.
He's not the biggest, but he's the meanest.
Yeah, he might be the meanest.
He also is a wrestler, so this summer he's wrestling and football. Okay, do you think I've got most of the goops out?
Yep, I'm ready to heat gun.
All right, let's heat gun that.
Okay. I'm gonna bring this down.
Silicone. We have not. So this is such a great idea for like cheap, inexpensive thrift store frames to kind of jazz them up and make an art piece out of it.
So lest you guys think that we do the heat gun on all our projects, we pretty much only use it when we're live so that we can get projects dry faster. Normally we just let this air dry.
Well, usually what happens is people ask how we do all this with 5 kids. We work on a project, and then while it's drying on the island, we rotate laundry, we make lunch. Our kids are used to living around projects. I'm just washing my hands real quick. My bum's on camera, sorry guys. And you can see my makeshift shorts that I cut off. DIY.
Are there any questions we've got?
Okay, I have a claw, just one claw nail of a clawfoot dresser. I need to mold and replace. Can I make the mold? What material do you recommend to
Sit down so
replace
they can see you.
So, we actually have a video. Didn't you pour a claw? Did you do a video?
I
So
never
Zeb
did a
usually
video
does-
on it.
Okay.
I just did it for a customer.
Zeb usually makes the mold, then he pours it out of resin, not paper clay. And then he'll actually drill and nail the molded piece back on and glue it into place, and then putty it. That's how he would attach that. Somebody says that was to Jamie with the black paint. I don't know what that means.
Oh, you may have missed some spots. It's okay if we missed a few spots. We're gonna come back through and wet distress some of this green paint back through.
Oh, the football. That's what she. Are you ready
Oh.
for some football? I have the black under my eyes.
The
I
eye
get it
black.
now.
Gotcha. Now I'm with the program.
Jamie, you look beautiful. I'm doing the keto diet also. I'm actually not doing the keto diet. I should disclaim that. I did keto for like 11 days. Then I gained back all that weight and then some. But Zeb is not eating any sugar. I eat sugar, but I just cut it back. But I've been working out 5 days a week. So that's kind of my secret. We try to eat as whole and organic as possible. And then I cheat every now and then and have fun stuff. I can't stick to a diet that's too restrictive.
I don't ever cheat. I do eat breads, so like not all sugars. There's sugars in breads, but not much. I try to keep it limited. Yeah, I think that's pretty much dry.
All right, so there we go. Let's show them. It did, some of the white came through, but that's okay because we're gonna white wax it. You guys see that? See all the detail? My shoe is fitting loose. My shirt. My shirt. You like it? Comment, let me know what you think about this. Now this is not the finished product. This is like the base. And then we'll come back in with white wax and wet distress the frame. Okay, do you think that's ready to paint that piece there?
Probably. Let's move some stuff.
Okay.
Are we gonna paint it brown first, or are you just gonna paint it?
I don't know. I was thinking about painting it black and then coming back with a color later.
Okay.
Like, so we'll just paint it so that way they can see what it looks like.
Yeah, you want to move that
painted.
paint?
Yeah.
Please, thank you.
Please and thank you. They say they like it. Sweet.
All right, let me move the frame back over.
So steel wool and vinegar. You're going to use a glass jar, put in vinegar, put in your steel wool, let it sit up to 24 hours. If you are trying to stain like construction grade pine, it's not going to be super noticeable, but if you use it on cherry or cedar or hardwoods, you'll get more of a reaction when you're staining the wood. Okay. All right, let's...
What are we painting it?
Paint it black because that'll be a good base, and then we'll repaint it with another color.
Are you sure black? I think, don't we have a brown in here? Do we got some layered chocolate?
I don't know. You can
Yes,
paint it
we
whatever
do.
you want. It's your project.
Layered chocolate coming right up.
All right, you know, I'm on a kick. I have a very hard time. Like when I get on something, like right now, I want to paint everything black. So, any kind of steel wool. We usually use 00 steel wool. Woo! I just knocked something loose in the cabinet. Don't we use 00 steel wool when we're making steel wool?
It's like 4 zeros, I think.
Zero,
it's
zero,
very
zero,
fine,
zero,
very
fine.
fine steel wool.
I mean, I don't know. I probably would try any, but why have you decided to change the color scheme in my shop? Because I want to.
Oh, that brown matches almost perfect with the brown that's on the frame.
You're like a painting ninja.
Well, it's a faux stain look on the frame that someone's done, so.
Yeah, I like to change things up. I have ADD. I'm sure you guys have all recognized this. But I like to move things around all the time, and I feel like if you don't give your clientele something new to look at, then you don't always give them a reason to pop back into the shop. So I'm always changing things up and showing people different ways to use the home decor that I have, and it gives them new ideas which colors they can like bring in if they want to create a different look.
I almost should have used some gold over this. Get some gold and tick it out.
Rachel, the inside of this frame is ginormous and it has a hole in it, so it's not really bailable.
We're not saving it. All right, that's all I'm doing with that now.
You don't want to do this edge here?
Oh yeah, sorry I missed it.
Hold on. Oh yeah, there we go.
I'll heat gun this real quick so this paint's dry, and then we'll do a top color on that. What top color? I'll let you decide the top color. I don't think black though.
No, not now that you've done that.
No.
Show them up close how like you can't even tell. Show them up close just like how you can't really even tell that you added that on there.
Yep.
Now there's more plaster missing on this. We're not fixing it perfectly, but I'm gonna bring it in close. Can you guys see all the detail on that? And once we do the...
So it got the leaf detail back here and pulled this over, and that was like a big gaping hole there before. And I probably could have worked with it a little more and like smoothed that out, but that just looks like extra leaf like it does over here. And once we paint it, you'll never notice.
Okay, so that's gonna dry all the way. Then we'll put like I'll spray just a coat of shellac on there just so that way there's a barrier between the DIY paint and the top coat, and then we'll wet distress it. So that's done for now. If you want to see this all the way finished with what we do with it, you're gonna have to look on.
We're not done, we still have more time. I'm going
Yeah, but I'm
to...
not gonna, we have 3 minutes.
For what? You gotta go somewhere?
No, I guess
Let's
we don't
finish
have to
this.
go somewhere. Let's finish it. Well, then heat gun that.
I'm gonna.
You heat gun that. I guess we're gonna be live.
I'm doing it for you guys.
Zeb has decided we're gonna be live all day. You realize I've only had a banana to eat today? Jake, this girl's starving.
All right, go pick your color you want to use.
All right. Fine.
It won't take us 10 minutes to paint this thing.
I need you to heat gun this some more so I can white wax it.
Okay. Did we ever bring the white wax in from
It
the...
has to be sealed with like a seal.
Did we ever bring the white wax in from the Suburban when we had it at the shop?
I don't know. I'll open it up.
Oh, you guys are watching like the spray gun or the heat gun weirdly. Sorry. No, don't do it. Don't spray that in here. It'll stink the whole house up all day. We'll take it, just don't. Just go get some Big Top or something and I'll heat gun it. Try. Yeah, you were. I'm gonna spray shellac in the kitchen.
Well, how are we gonna do it while you have the heat gun on?
All right, so that's ready to be white waxed, I believe. Yeah, that's not transferring any paint over.
All these cracks though, you gotta get down in the cracks because.
I'll get your little paint bump pockets of paint in here.
All right, I can't get the Big Top open.
You're afraid me.
Oh, wrong brush.
All right, so she's sealing this so that we get some resist.
Well, so that way when we wet distress, it doesn't go through to the white clay. All right, now you got to.
Now I'm gonna heat gun that.
Yeah.
Not best practice on this. We'll see how this goes. Oh, you're really getting it covered on there.
Yeah. You're the one that told me not to use a spray can in the house. That paint is still wet because my Big Top's brown now.
We'll see how fast we can get this to dry. While I'm doing this, go pick out a color you want this frame to be. What do you guys think? Should we go blue? Should we just do white?
Hold on, I think I may have too much on there.
Yeah, you put a bunch. Just dab it. Just dab it.
I'm just getting it out of the cracks. 20 years later, hold on, don't burn my hand. It said white, but my concern, there's a box in the top.
That's okay.
My concern is if we go white, it's not quite dry yet. I don't know. I'm gonna go get white wax.
All right, so there are a few other little cracks like over here in the corner and in these other corners on the other side, but we're just gonna leave those. Once we paint over, it won't be super obvious. Mostly we just wanted to fix this big chunk of detail that was missing and then the edge of this leaf over here.
DIY wax, Paint Pixie wax brush that is so crusty. I really need to wash this. I should have gotten a flat top. You have one. I think I have one. So I like to use these flat tops when I'm doing detail. Oh, this paint isn't dry. There's like black paint all in my wax now. It's gonna go gray.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun gray wax. That's
There's gonna be a whole situation happening here. It's also melty
because the thing's warm.
It's hot.
Quick, wipe it off.
It's like a faux painting technique.
This is what happens when you rush your project, guys. What not to do.
It's fine. It's fine. Now, the cool thing is that you can see the cross hatching when I wax it, like down in the texture. Okay.
They're loving the large picture frame. Well, thanks, guys. I think, you know, it's worth that little bit of extra effort. Were we not trying to do it live, we probably would have just like done one step, left it, gone and done something else, come back and done another step. So it actually wouldn't have taken us very long to do it. It's probably actually only about 10 minutes worth of actual work time. We've just been waiting for things to dry.
So I'm just pulling off some of this wax here. It's a process.
Okay, we ready to paint this?
I don't know. Are you ready to paint? I'm busy. I got a new project going.
You got a separate project going? I gotta get more of that
You
glue.
make your own design calls on that. I'll let you do it.
I got a big old strip of plaster coming off over here. We're gonna glue it while I'm at it. So what are we gonna sell this frame for when all said and done? Like what would you sell the frame?
$100.
$100 frame?
$95.
So we went from $10 to about $100 once we get it painted.
Depends on what I do with it. I don't know. I was actually thinking about putting a piece of plywood in here and doing a bunch of IOD transfers on it. In that case, it would be worth even more.
Like doing another picture kind of thing?
Yeah. Like we did on that bar and Sugden one.
Yeah.
Only this is bigger, so it'd be worth more. So all I'm doing, you guys, is I'm just pulling that white wax off of there and getting it down in all the crack situations here.
So are we gonna go white swan on that?
I don't even think we have white swan.
I have a pint here.
Okay, if that's it. Yeah, I don't see
On
why
that
not.
frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I get real quiet when I'm concentrating on something, so there's that.
I'm gonna paint this other side.
It's taking the paint off the glass because it's nothing.
Probably got it hot.
It's all right.
Sorry, I'm shaking the camera around trying to get everything in the shot for you guys.
I'm gonna make it work.
All right, so we're gonna use some white swan on here. On the frame, I'm gonna paint the opposite side while we let that cool down. And I need a brush that hasn't been used, one other brush.
Well, I don't know. I got 8 brushes over here, so
I
I'll show you guys an up close and personal of this frame here in a minute once I get it done. I have to know what I'm doing first, which is I don't really know what I'm doing. I've actually never done this before on a glass frame. You guys saw it here the first time.
Okay. See how fast we can do this before we gotta go. Because now we are going long. It's gonna be like an hour and 20-minute video.
Hey, you know, sometimes you gotta go long. And the kids are still, any minute now that somebody's gonna have to pee that's been outside playing, so hopefully they're not peeing in the...
Jack has been experimenting with going to the bathroom outside this summer, so we had to put a stop to that and be like, all right, that's what the bathroom's for, buddy.
So I'm just gonna go both ways with this to build up that texture on the outside of this frame because I did crosshatch pattern, which means I painted it both directions like this. This is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's coming out neat. The rabbit was a good call.
All right, guys, hold on, I need to...
Got some brush strokes, get a fix?
Yeah, I mean, it's... little brush strokes aren't a problem.
I'm having a hard time. All I want to do is like talk about the house right now. But we have a video that I'm going to edit that I don't want to just give it all away.
Hey guys, ready? Ta-da! How cool is that? Although, you know what? It's got string on it. We're gonna have to put a new thing. But anyways, yeah.
Oh, we put the rabbit on upside down?
Well, I will just have to put the hanging hardware on the other direction. What do you guys think? So all this was an old frame. You can see the back of it. Old frame that had glass in it. And I didn't even take the glass out. I just glued the molds directly on top of it. Then we painted it black. And then and I did a crosshatch pattern. Can you guys see the texture that's on this part of the frame? That's a very old world kind of paint finish there. So we've got that texture on there. And then I just put the white wax all over it, and I used the flat top brush instead of the wax brush because I feel like it kind of gets down in the details. So this will be really awesome on somebody's like gallery wall or like an architecture. It looks kind of like architectural salvage, somebody said. So there you go, new idea for all your cool picture frames. Just put those molds directly on the glass and you can create any size or style you need depending on the frame. So I think
It's
that
like
would
an
be
old
good.
backsplash or ceiling tile or something.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome. You would never glass underneath there. And this does not, this is it. I use so much white wax on this, it's sealed. This is done. So this will not need anything else on it. Once it cures, it'll be good to go. All right, Deb, how are you doing?
There's a lot of detail on this mirror.
You need me to help you out?
Sure.
All right, let me go grab a brush. Actually, where's that brush that I'm gonna wash the one that I put sealer on with.
Okay. Hold on, Redrick. Don't come in yet. He's in here looking like, come on, guys, get finished.
We're hungry.
It's lunchtime now, almost. They'll be all right. They have snacks and water out there. And they're lounging on the pavilion on the couch. Like, it's real terrible that we put them outside.
Yeah, I did. Deb's like, just put them outside. I gave them juice boxes, organic juice boxes, and pretzels so they wouldn't starve. All right, let me put a lid back on this wax here.
So after I mush it in and get it down in all the detail like this, oh, you can't see. So I'm just taking my brush and dabbing it in here, and then I come back over and smooth all that out.
Well, yeah, because that's still soft. So you have
Well,
to
that's over there.
Oh.
I haven't painted that yet.
I'm just using the Palm Pro, which probably isn't the perfect brush. A detailed brush would be better. But sometimes you just have to use whatever brush is close or clean or both of them in between.
Yep.
All right, there's paint on the...
Oh yeah, I already got it.
If this did not have a hole in it already, I would just paint this whole situation. I'd paint the canvas and all. And then do something fun on it. Oh, this is the side. So this
Yep.
one I
Go
got.
careful with that one.
Maybe I'll just do over here.
It's
and you
fresh.
do that part because you're more careful than I am. Maybe we'll have to do a full DIY and take a bunch of frames and show people how to arrange the molds because that's fun. And that was not difficult.
Oh no, yeah, that took like a couple minutes.
Yeah, and if you didn't have glass in your frame, you could just throw a piece of plywood on the back of it and stick the molds directly on that. No problemo. No glass, no problem. But if you already got glass, then the work's already done for you. I'm not worried about perfection as far as coverage goes, because we'll probably do 2 coats and we'll wet distress this.
Let's be honest, I would have probably sprayed this if we had not been on a live video.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the frame's getting gorgeous over here.
Oh, if you want to turn the camera back over. It's like filming the fridge.
There you go. All right, Zeb's painting that area. This is the part, if you remember, if you're just tuning in, this part was all missing and chipped off, and we molded it and put paper clay and remade that detail. Zeb's still wearing his gloves, which are not necessary for DIY painting.
No.
It's all natural.
I just have them on from when I was using the resin still. The gloves are not, I mean, you could probably paint your skin with this and whatever. Do some
At
body,
least this paint is
do
dry.
some body paint.
It's not coming off in my white swan.
Yeah, I sprayed this quite a bit. Well, you are gooping that on.
You goop it on, and then you pull it out. It's a very like official painting term.
We're gonna have to paint like the. Oh, are you getting the bottom sides?
Yeah, why not? This is where this Palm Pro really shines on flat surfaces. Get that paint right on there. Oh, this is gorgeous in white.
Yep, good call on the white, guys. Good call.
White, when something has a lot of detail, I feel like white just really makes it shine.
Well, and when we wet distress the gold and the brown back through, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Because it'll make all that
You don't
detail
really need
show
to
back
like
up.
dark wax it because when you wet distress, that brings back all those dark details.
So to see a picture of this, if you guys don't follow us on Instagram or Facebook, the pictures almost always get posted there. And we also a lot of times put them on the community tab on YouTube here on the
Or
homepage
our
of our
weekly
channel.
vlogs.
Yeah, and there's always the Friday video that catches whatever we didn't finish on a live video. We usually finish them up on the weekly vlog Friday video. So
And if you're just tuning in, you can buy the paint, the molds, the wax, the brushes, everything you saw used here today at JamiRayVintage.com. Or if you're local to Utah, stop by Molly's Forget-Me-Not, or in Arizona, go to Plant Bar AZ. We'll drop addresses below for that.
My hands are getting sweaty. It's time for these to come off.
It's because you got all that hair on your hands. Like,
can't help it.
it's like a sweater.
I was really
your
meant
hands
to
are
be.
like a sweater wrapped in plastic.
I was really meant to be a bear. My spirit animal's a bear.
How long do we wait to distress? You could use a heat gun and distress right away. And actually, grab that heat gun. Since we're already like an hour and a half into this, grab the heat gun and let's heat gun like a little corner, and we'll wet distress it before we go.
Show them.
Hey, Jack, are you hot? You look hot.
You
Go
going
lay
to the
in
bathroom,
sun.
buddy? Careful not to kick the camera. Kids are running through. You going back out? All right. You guys having a party back there? You enjoying that pavilion Mom and I built? Someone should enjoy it. I work too much. So when you're heat gunning and you don't want big cracks in your paint, you got to move it around a lot so it doesn't get too hot. So you don't get bubbles too, it'll bubble it up.
Oh, you know what? I have to work out. So Zeb, you'll have to do this without me. I have to be at Orange Theory in 15 minutes.
All right.
Bye guys, Zeb will sign you out.
I'm gonna wet distress this and then we'll hold it up, and we're pretty much done anyway. Okay, so there's that corner. Let's see if we can get some of that gold to pop back up through. I'm gonna get this damp, guys. I'll be off camera for just a second. Hang out there with me. Jamie changed her Orange Theory workout class to noon today because we had to meet with the inspector at 7 this morning. And she had to go because it's like 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes from now. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna hold the camera with one hand and just wet distress this. And I'm just pulling back the paint just a little bit. Just got water on the rag, no vinegar or anything special like that. And bringing that detail back out. And so that's it. That's what it'll look like when we're all done. Let me hold it up so you guys can get a good view of it. Boy, we made a mess of the kitchen today. All right, almost there. Okay, so if you hadn't seen me repair the sides, would you know that this had been missing a huge chunk of plaster? Oh, the picture's upside down. That's all right, we're looking at the frame. The frame's the important part. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out today and bearing with us as we finish that project. Always takes a little longer on a live video, but we appreciate it. Like Jamie said, if you need to get any of these supplies for yourself, hit up JamiRayVintage.com. We've got most of this stuff in stock except for the DIY stuff. If you watch the first of the video, DIY has some back order. They ran out of some pigment on a couple of colors.
We're gonna have it tomorrow, so go ahead and order it.
Oh, she says order away. We'll have it back in stock tomorrow. So it's on its way. It's shipping now. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And we will see you tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're not. Oh, she's still here.
Bye, guys.